Okay, we are shifting focus now to the other big story that we are tracking today. Remember, an eviction drive conducted by the Assam government against so-called illegal encroachers in Dholpur of Darang district turned into a nightmare when the locals clashed with the police that led to 2 deaths and several others being injured in that clash. Now, what has really drawn the attention from that incident is a video that surfaced 4 days after the incident that took place on the 20th of September. A man, allegedly an illegal settler, is seen charging towards the police with a stick. The police actually fires at him, and from the visuals that we are playing out to you, you can see he was shot in his chest. Not just that, he was brutally thrashed, and what is more, the video shows a photographer engaged with the district administration kicking and punching the unconscious man on the chest. So those visuals have been doing the rounds. It's very much a buzz in social media as well. What we want to discuss really now is the exact context of this incident, the issue of illegal immigrants in light of the encroachments that have taken place, and this massive crackdown that the Assam government has undertaken for the last few months. Some of it has been peaceful, but now, of course, these incidents are happening with an alarming regularity where there is local resistance, especially when it happens in a minority-dominated area. Things get rather ugly. Two very clear opinions emerging from what we have seen in that video. One is that this is an insidious attempt to target minority belts, where police is being given a free hand to use excessive force, and the dehumanizing manner in which the poor Muslim peasant was killed has raised eyebrows, has raised questions on whether this is a clear case of police high-handedness and use of excessive force by the state, leading to an issue of humanitarian issue of a poor minority community peasant being killed. The other point, of course, is the one that is being made by the ruling party, that this was supposed to be a peaceful eviction drive. All stakeholders were taken into confidence. The opposition also was aware. Opposition parties also were taken into confidence. Compensation was also worked out. Yet the locals turned hostile under the provocation of certain vested interests, and therefore the police had to fire in self-defense. So these are the two opinions we have on this issue, but I want to understand the exact context of all of this. Joining us right now on the show, Karma Palchor, editor-in-chief of East Mozo, is with us. Good evening, Karma. Thank you so much for joining us today. Before I come to you, Karma, let's listen in to what Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma has to say.
State government has very clear intelligence report that from the poor and landless family, certain people has collected 28 lakhs rupees during last 3 months, saying that we are going to convince government and there will be no eviction. We have those names. Now, when they could not resist the eviction drive, they mobilized those people and created the havoc on that particular day. We have name of 6 people with clear intelligence that 28 lakhs was created.
Okay, Karma, you heard what the Chief Minister had to say, and his use is what they misled people, provoke. Who are these people? Who are these elements that the Chief Minister is referring to? Let's first get that clear before I go to you on the issue of whether due process was followed or not.
Well, what the Chief Minister is probably hinting at are one or two of the minority organizations. Now, he said this. There are news reports to this effect. I, as a journalist, would not like to take any names. But now the only question to the government is, if they had prior intelligence, if the government knew that they had collected this amount from poor villagers, promising that they will not be evicted, then why was prior action not taken? Why did the police not act with sensitivity and in fact went down in this way? Now, you talked about violence. Yes, there was definitely violence. Was it brutal or not? There is no question of it. In fact, our reporters have been on the field. We filed an in-depth report on East Mojo from the field, where you can clearly see that motorcycles belonging to the food, grains, rice was burnt by the police. Now, why would the police, who's supposed to guard, who's supposed to secure, the general public, go in for such a massive drive? There are also a lot of unconfirmed reports, which we cannot verify at this moment, saying that many of the villagers, including a 3-year-old child, is missing. So these are the questions that the state government must answer. The chief minister, yes, has come out saying that it was a pre-planned attack. But if they knew this was a pre-planned attack, if there were organizations working on the ground, and if they did indeed collect a sum of 28 lakh rupees, as he claims, then the question would be, why wasn't the eviction drive planned? Why were 11 police personnel also hurt in this? Did they not have prior intelligence?
Yes, and this is also a strongly reminiscent, Karma, of what happened in the Assam-Mizoram border. There again, the Assam government justified, saying this is encroached land and this is an eviction process. But there, the Assam police actually lost 6 of their men who got massacred. And here, it's just become a power battle. And here, the defenseless poor villagers, of course, couldn't stand up to the might of the police. But do you see a pattern that's happening? Because so many of these encounters are now being reported from Assam.
Now, if you notice, as far as the Assam police is concerned, off late, after the chief minister has taken seats, one of the things that he has gone after is, of course, drugs, much needed, much needed in the northeast and Assam, for which he has the support of the people. But what has happened is also the police has been given free hand to deal, which means they have had free hand using weapons. So there have been several encounters where the police have been trigger happy, so to say, killing robbers, drug addicts, drug dealers, and there have been several incidents of that. I don't know whether we can really draw a parallel between what happened at the Mizoram border and what's happened here, because this is an ongoing protest. I'd also like to tell you that, there is an attempt to make it a majority versus a minority incident. Well, to my knowledge, this isn't, because the issue of encroachment in these areas have been spearheaded by the local indigenous Muslim population who used to use these areas for grazing. In fact, they have been fighting for their lands for the last 30, 100 odd years, to get it cleared of encroachers. Whether there has been encroachment in government lands, definitely there has been encroachment. Whether areas need to be cleared of encroachers for the people of that locality to use it in a particular way, yes, there is a need. But the way that this particular incident flared up, and this also, I'm telling you, if this incident was not caught on camera, if this brutality was not caught on camera, then this story would have never caught the attention of the rest of India, because incidents such as these have gone on in the Northeast, not just in Assam, for a long, long time. So if you have any little experience covering violence in the Northeast, you know that these things have happened before also.
Yes. Yes, I appreciate you highlighting that point, Karma, that this is not about minority, majority. This is about land and livelihood. The indigenous Muslim population are also fighting to protect their land, and it is simply an issue of encroachment, which I would say is being mishandled. Because like you said, I have a problem when you say that the police is being given a free hand. The police obviously has to follow due process. There cannot be a misuse of state power, which in this case looks evident. A gross mishandling of this entire eviction drive is clearly evident. Karma Pajo, I appreciate you joining us today, this evening, but clearly this is something that must be questioned. Did the Assam government handle this effectively, or was there an excessive and a brutal use of police force, not just in this incident, but multiple incidents, many of which, like Karma also said, go unreported? Thanks for watching The Urban News.